Lewis Hamilton's SF-25 has just become the focus of a full-scale FIA investigation. What has been uncovered so far has sent shockwaves through the paddock. Just when Ferrari seemed to have steadied their turbulent season with back-to-back podiums and a renewed sense of direction, the FIA dropped a bombshell. New technical evidence, leaked shortly after the Spanish Grand Prix, has triggered an in-depth inquiry into the legality of Hamilton's Ferrari, and the timing couldn't be worse. Before we dive into the explosive details, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us until the end of the video, because what's coming doesn't just involve technical inspections. It could completely reshape Ferrari's strategy for the 2025 season and seriously shake Hamilton's trust in the team. The situation escalated following the race in Barcelona. As part of standard procedure, the FIA randomly selected several cars for more intensive post-race inspections. One of them was Charles Leclerc's SF-25. But this wasn't a routine check. The focus was unusually specific: the rear braking system. FIA officials conducted a detailed analysis of the braking torque, hydraulic pressure distribution, actuator response, and the interaction between these components and the electronic control unit. While nothing illegal was discovered on Leclerc's car, something stood out. According to sources close to the FIA, telemetry data raised serious concerns, not about Leclerc, but about Hamilton. Specifically, the FIA detected irregularities in how braking pressure was applied during critical moments of the race. These weren't performance-enhancing irregularities, per se, but they were unusual enough to prompt a follow-up inspection focused specifically on Hamilton's car. What followed was an extraordinary move. The FIA requested a full data dump of Hamilton's SF-25 telemetry from the last 3 race weekends. Engineers from both the FIA and Ferrari spent over 48 hours poring over sensor data, actuator feedback loops, and brake mapping logic. The suspicion that Ferrari's software may be interpreting pedal input in a way that maximizes performance under certain conditions, skirting dangerously close to the limits of what's legally allowed. And here's where the story gets truly intense. This deeper analysis has reportedly uncovered that Hamilton's car was operating under a slightly modified rear brake control algorithm different from Leclerc's, tailored to suit Hamilton's driving style. While not illegal on paper, the FIA is now questioning whether this variation breaches the sporting code section on driver equality and consistent car configurations. From Hamilton's camp, there's growing tension. Sources inside the Ferrari garage say Lewis was blindsided by the news of the investigation. He's since requested full transparency from the engineering team and demanded simulations to validate whether these adjustments were introduced without proper sign-off. Privately, Hamilton is said to be frustrated. This isn't what he came to Ferrari for. After a turbulent end at Mercedes, he joined the Scuderia, hoping for a clean slate and a united vision. Instead, he finds himself caught in a storm of regulatory suspicion. Meanwhile, Ferrari is scrambling behind the scenes. Fred Vasseur has reportedly called emergency technical meetings with his lead engineers and compliance officers. Their objective is twofold. Firstly, to reassure the FIA that no performance gains were achieved through prohibited means. And secondly, to make absolutely sure that both drivers are operating under identical parameters for the Canadian Grand Prix. This couldn't come at a worse time. Montreal is a circuit that demands absolute confidence under braking. Think Turn 10's hairpin or the high-speed chicanes that punish the slightest miscalculation. If Ferrari is forced to revise Hamilton's brake mapping, it could completely derail his rhythm, race strategy, and tire management. And let's not forget, Ferrari is already trailing McLaren by almost 200 points in the Constructors' Championship. One more setback could effectively end their hopes for 2025, but the implications stretch far beyond Canada. Depending on what the FIA concludes, this investigation could set a precedent for how driver-specific car setups are interpreted within the rules. If deemed illegal, Ferrari could face penalties or even be forced to standardize their configurations in ways that limit optimization for individual driving styles. That would not only impact Hamilton's competitiveness, it could fundamentally change how teams approach development. Even more pressing is the political tension this creates within Ferrari itself. There are now reportedly 2 schools of thought emerging in Maranello. One believes the team must take full advantage of every regulatory gray area to keep pace with Red Bull and McLaren. The other, closer to Hamilton, fears that this aggressive approach is what led to the double disqualification in China, and could end up costing them even more in the long run. As for the FIA, they're not backing down. Officials have indicated that further inspections may take place throughout the Canadian Grand Prix weekend. Additional tests on braking systems, software control layers, and torque sensors are expected. And if any discrepancy, however small, is found, Ferrari could once again be forced to explain themselves in front of the stewards. So, where does this leave us now? With a legendary team walking a razor's edge, their entire operation under the spotlight like never before. With a seven-time world champion who risked everything by leaving the comfort of Mercedes to join Ferrari, now demanding clarity, accountability, and above all, trust. And with the FIA, a governing body that's already been criticized this season for inconsistency, now digging deeper, peeling back every layer of Ferrari's technical setup in search of absolute compliance. The situation is tense inside Maranello. What began as a standard post-race inspection has now triggered an internal reckoning. Engineers are combing through data. Technical directors are being asked uncomfortable questions. And behind every closed door is a sense of urgency that cannot be overstated. Because this is no longer just a technical matter. It's a cultural one. A matter of trust, of transparency, and of whether Ferrari can continue to operate at the top level without spiraling into chaos. For Hamilton, this investigation is more than just a procedural nuisance. It's a test of faith. He's come to Ferrari not just to race, but to build something historic to bring back the glory days. But now, with whispers of unequal treatment, legality concerns, and the possibility of car alterations on the eve of a crucial Grand Prix, that vision is in jeopardy. If Ferrari cannot give him confidence both in the car and in the integrity of the operation, the psychological fallout could be even more damaging than any technical penalty. And as the Canadian Grand Prix approaches, the entire paddock is watching closely. Rival teams, media analysts, and fans across the world are waiting to see not just what the FIA concludes, but how Ferrari responds under pressure. Will they adapt, stabilize, and come out stronger? Or will internal cracks deepen, leading to mistakes, mistrust, and missed opportunities? Make no mistake, this story is far from over. In fact, it's only just beginning. With further FIA scrutiny looming, possible car setup changes pending, and Hamilton's faith hanging in the balance, the coming days could define Ferrari's season or unravel it entirely. So don't take your eyes off this channel. Like the video, subscribe right now, and turn on notifications because the next chapter of this investigation could be the most dramatic yet. Whatever happens next won't just impact Ferrari. It could reshape the dynamics of the 2025 championship and echo through the sport for years to come. You absolutely do not want to miss what's... Hamilton is aware of the car's current capabilities. So does everyone else. The floor has given more than just lap time. It has given hope. And if these results hold, if Hamilton continues to find time, and Ferrari maintains its technical momentum, 2025 will not be remembered as a rough start. It will be remembered for one of the most stunning mid-season turnarounds in recent memory. And it all started with a bit of carbon fiber lying under the automobile, which might change everything. What Ferrari has just revealed with this new floor is not a tiny step forward. It is a major revolution in the competitive landscape for Lewis Hamilton. It is the first time in his Ferrari career that he has actually had a machine capable of matching his skill, rather than fighting against it. The numbers, the balance, the constancy. Most significantly, the feeling behind the wheel all points in the same way. This flaw doesn't merely work, it is altering everything. The results of the Red Bull Ring tests verified what many inside Maranello had only hoped for. The SF-25 still had untapped power waiting to be unleashed. And now, with this radical new aerodynamic foundation in place, Ferrari is no longer chasing the field, but rather preparing itself to lead. Hamilton's confidence is back, his pace is returning. And with the impending suspension upgrade likely to build on all this floor is open, the second half of the 2025 season seems wide open. It's not about catching up anymore, it's about getting back. With this accomplishment, Hamilton now has the tool he requires. Ferrari has gained the momentum they lacked. What about the rest of the grid? They are officially on notice. The game has changed, and it all began with a crazy new floor.